think is the thing to do for all the people that realize that this election is a joke and the candidates are a joke. You know, some people have told me before that maybe I'm not as civics minded as I should be. Well, that's a good point. And I think that if you are going to be civics minded, I don't know is that I'm as extreme as I should be by constantly being vigilant. But I will say this. There are times when I called up my representatives, and if you want to be civics minded about things, that's good. Here's a few things you can think of. Why don't you call up your representatives and do this? I've done this in the past, and I'm going to do it even more. Call up my representatives, and here's some civics-minded things that I will tell them. All these candidates, they all kiss AIPAC's ass. If you are somebody who doesn't know what AIPAC is, it's a pro-Israel lobby tied with America, the American Israel Public Access Committee. Whether it's Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, I don't know so much about Gary Johnson, but most of these candidates, they kiss Israel's ass. Israel should have nothing to do with the United States, but when you bring this up, you get labeled an anti-Semite. That is total bullshit. Israel has their own country. That's great. They should have nothing to do with influencing the U.S., and the U.S. should not be giving any contributions to any country, and that includes Israel as well. We should not have Israel nationalists such as Paul Wolfowitz and people like that were around the bushes, and you have the same Jewish or Israel nationalists in this country around Obama, and they try to run things and influence our politicians, and they do. They are for wars over in the Middle East, and they try to and do a very good job of getting our politicians to constantly go by the war footing. For anybody who thinks that Hillary Clinton is an anti-war candidate, all you have to do is go on YouTube and bring up videos that will show you that Hillary Clinton is a war candidate. She voted for the Iraq War. That was a war that Israel wanted, and a lot of other people, mind you, too, for this bogus war on terror. And Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq War, and you can look and find videos where she says and pushes for war in Syria, you know, to take down Assad. And why? Why should we do that? There's no reason why we should remove leaders in these countries. And when you do a little bit of even casual research, you realize that that is done for nefarious reasons. It's not for freedom. It's not for patriotism. Hillary Clinton is no different than the neocons and the warmongers. She is one of them. So when you call up your representatives, you can tell them that. You can tell them that you don't think, you can ask them if your representatives had to sign loyalty to Israel when they got in the running or for their office, or they wouldn't get funding. And the girl who brought this up was a black lady named Cynthia McKenna, if I'm pronouncing. I always kind of mess up her last name. But anyways, you can find her easily. She's the one who brought this up. I don't think, but I'm not sure. I don't think Cynthia McKenna is in Congress anymore, because she's the one of the people that brought these things up about Israel, that you have to sign, that you will be loyal to them. And she questioned why. And when you do that, it's harder for you to get funding to help your campaign and run your campaign. Jim Trafficant, same thing. He brought that up too. And these people are labeled anti-Semites. Well, again, that's just total bullshit. So there are some things that you can tell your representatives. You can call them up, you can email them, and tell them that you're sick and tired. You can ask them directly, hey, does my such and such, does my senator, does my congressman, do they have to sort of take an oath and sign, forms that they will pledge support to Israel And you can tell them that should be outlawed, as it should. There should be no country, no other countries allowed to influence the United States and its politicians, That's not bigotry to bring that up. That's not racism, whether it's Muslim or Jewish or any country. They shouldn't have the right to influence us. When Saudi Arabia, I can only talk about this in generalities, but when they started to threaten the United States, that a certain bill shouldn't be passed, regarding certain things in 9/11, well, that's not their place to do that. It's just like America. We should not go over to other countries and try to manipulate them as we do. That's not fair either. There's certain things called sovereignty where that should be maintained. So these are civics-minded things that you can, call up your representatives and remind them that you don't want that in the political forum. Because until people do these kinds of things, there won't be any kind of change. There'll just be more of the same, more wars that we get into for all the wrong reasons. So that's basically the two things. Number one is that this campaign is a joke and that you should go and vote none of the above, which has been brought up by certain people before. Like Jesse Ventura was one who brought that up. It's not really an endorsement of Jesse Ventura, but I'm giving him credit as a person who brought that up, and I wanted to reiterate that. All these candidates are jokes, and they serve these special interests, or they come out and make false claims like Gary Johnson, about the Fed, and they all make false claims. I mean, I think Trump does and Hillary does and Bill Clinton probably even more so. The Clintons are criminals, and just the very act of Hillary Clinton pulling a Brian Williams moment when she claimed that when she landed one time over in the Middle East, I forget exactly where it was, and said that they were under shrapnel fire or that was nearby. That was a lie, and video footage proved that. And what did Hillary say? Well, she just said, I misspoke. I was sleep deprived or something like that. She just outright lied. So this is a video just I wanted to make, again, and urge people to tune in to voting, go to the voting booths, and vote for none of the above.